If you look at the University of Kashmir, glaciology is a thrust area of research. For the last almost 15 years now, we have been working on the glaciers. And as I said, there are about 12,000 glaciers. And many of these glaciers, are inaccessible, very far up. So we have chosen the glaciology as the thrust of the area of research because of its societal importance. So they are of tremendous importance not only to the people of Jammu, Kashmir and Ladakh, but to the entire South Asia region, because these glaciers supply water to the neighboring countries also. Now, we have at the University of Kashmir our work, the research that we have done on the glaciers, so has been recognized nationally and internationally. So we have the first national ice core lab in the country is established at the University of Kashmir. So this ice core lab is for reconstructing the climate data of Kashmir for last 10,000 years from the ice cores. So, and similarly, because of our work, the recognition that we got based on the research that we did on the glaciers, the University of Kashmir was, awarded the Center for Excellence in Glacial Studies in the Western Himalayas. So only 2 centers were given all over the country, and one of that center was given to the University of Kashmir Center for Excellence. And under this Center for Excellence, or under the National Ice Core Laboratory, we are basically researching every aspect of the glaciers. Not only the glaciers, the impact of the melting glaciers on social, on livelihoods, on society, the impact of melting glaciers on the water supplies, the sharing of water between the neighboring countries. So all this is basically what we do under the Center for Excellence in Glacial Studies. We study glaciers at different scales. So we have published some papers that have looked at all the 12,000 glaciers, how they are changing for last 5-6 decades. But at the same time, we have chosen some of these glaciers, we call them benchmark glaciers, where we go every year twice, at least twice we go. And some of these glaciers we visit 4 or 5 times also for field measurements. We are looking at how they are losing the depth, or how the mass balance, we call it, is changing. We are using different, instrumentation techniques, using cutting edge instrumentation, and so that we can get a very good understanding of the behavior and health of these glaciers. So we have chosen 3 benchmark glaciers in the Kashmir Valley. We have 1 benchmark glacier in the Chenab Valley. We have 3 benchmark glaciers in the Zanskar, and 1 we have in the Leh. So these benchmark glaciers, we have established the instrumentation, the weather stations and all that, so that we can get a very good understanding of their behavior and dynamic. So if you look at the glaciers of the Jammu, Kashmir and Ladakh, as I said, they are receding, they are shrinking at a relatively higher rate as compared to the glaciers in other parts of the country. Now, if you look at I will tell you the Kolhai Glacier, which is the largest glacier in the Kashmir Valley in the Jhelum Basin, is every year on an average melting 20 meters. So we have data for 155 years that we have published. It has receded almost 3 kilometers. So it was 150 years before, it was 3 kilometers, at an advanced, location. So it has lost 3 kilometers length during the last 155 years. And if you look at them shrinking in terms of depth, so it is losing mass almost 1 meter, 90 centimeters, 92 centimeters every year. So that is an indication how the glaciers in the Kashmir, in the Jammu, or when I say Jammu, I mean Chenab, in Kashmir, and in Leh and Zanskar, they are melting on an average 20 meters per year, and receding more than 1 meter in terms of depths every year. Now, one of the very important resources that the Jammu, Kashmir and Ladakh has, the most important resource is snow and glaciers. So we have to keep in mind that the per capita water availability in Kashmir in Ladakh, in Jammu is one of the highest in the South Asia. And the reason is because of the large number of glaciers that we have. We have almost 12,000 glaciers in Jammu, Kashmir and Ladakh. So this, because of the changing climate, particularly the increasing in the temperature and also the depletion of the snowfall. So what is happening in this region, Jammu, Kashmir and Ladakh, so we are getting less snowfall and correspondingly we get more rains during the winter. So because of less snowfall, because of increasing temperatures during the summers and spring, so the glaciers are melting at an enhanced rate. So that is a cause of worry, because we get snowfall during the winter, and traditionally because of the very harsh cold extreme temperatures, this snow will stay there for 3-4 months, 5 months. But now because of if we look at the temperature trends in winter or in the some spring particularly, so the snow is melting early, glaciers are melting more. So the climate change has a direct impact on the melting of the glaciers, and melting of the glaciers is a direct indicator of the climate change. And we have observed, we have published it, and it has been reported all over the Himalayas, that the glaciers in Jammu Kashmir are melting at a higher rate compared to the other glaciers in the Indian Himalayas. So that is a cause of concern.